Are you Kemetic? Are you Kemetic?
Yeah, I'm a Kemite.
Okay. Are you Kemetic?
Yeah, I'm definitely a Kemite.
Yeah, well.
You're not answering my question, so leave it. Leave it. Okay, now I want to respond to this question. Kalam made a video which is over an hour long. Over an hour long.
You know what, Dada?
Not racist, right? How can that happen? And Kalam was celebrating these texts. So was this medicine man. You know, he was saying, "Oh, we're gonna the medicine today, man. There's a lot of text coming out." So anything relevant, I'll tell you why. The first quote Kalam brought from Tabari, which is the curse of Ham. Now, anyone who knows Islamic literature knows well that our commentators on the Quran brought information from a number of different sources. They brought information from historical sources. They brought information from Judeo-Christian sources. They brought information from the Prophet of Islam, what he had said about certain verses in the Quran, and the list goes on. And some of the companions of the Prophet, they had certain opinions on certain verses of the Quran. So, Judeo-Christian literature in the Islamic tafsir literature is not accepted by the Muslims. This is the point you have to understand. When a Muslim scholar quotes from the Bible or the Old Testament or the New Testament or the Talmud or one of the apocryphal Gospels of the Christians, and the list goes on, it is not authoritative for us Muslims. We don't believe it's our literature. Rather, it is Judeo-Christian. So the curse of Ham, Kalam used as medicine for Muslims, is not medicine at all. It is not our literature. Rather, it is the literature of the Christians and the Jews. So we don't have to answer for that. Number one,
I'm asking, is it recorded in your literature?
It is recorded as information, yes. It is quoted. It is quoted as information, not as authoritative information for us to follow and believe in. Even Tabari, the man you quoted, if you had read him, in his preface, he states clearly that I am bringing in these reports. Some of them are authentic, others are not. And it is the Muslims, they have, it is not your literature. Leave it alone, the historian do. Historian brings, somebody said about the black people, or the Habashis, or the can bring something out where Tabari said, I believe like Ibn Khaldun. You have a point on Ibn Khaldun, which is what we're going to.
Was Tabari a bad Muslim then?
No.
For going into the Judeo-Christian literature after the Prophet said, leave it alone? I'm sorry.
Are you even listening? Yeah. I'm responding that Tabari was a person who gathered information. The one who gathers information is not guilty of, upholding those ideas. For example, if I quote, for example, if I'm writing a master's thesis or my PhD dissertation, if I'm quoting sources, if I quote Hitler, for example, in my thesis to make a point, am I guilty of what Hitler did? Holding the views of Hitler? No, I'm not. I'm simply quoting Hitler. Just like that, Tabari quoted the curse of Ham and he didn't believe it. We don't believe it. Because Tabari is the same man who quoted the Prophet saying that we leave Judeo-Christian literature alone. So if you read Tabari holistically, you'll come to realize Tabari is upon exactly. Quran is the purest word of God. We don't need the Judeo-Christian literature. And can you please take this weed away in case I get intoxicated? Someone is trying to intoxicate me. Is there a conspiracy? Is there a conspiracy? Okay. Who is smoking this stuff?
Where's Rashid gone?
Okay, anyway. No, this is our classical.
That's fine.
Okay, next point you raised. Next point you raised was very quickly. Has definitely stated something, and they lack human civilization qualities. That's what he said. Sudanese. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for telling us that. Okay. Now, amazingly, Ibn Khaldun said similar things about the Arabs. And who was Ibn Khaldun himself? Hadrami. He himself was an Arab, the purest Arab himself. He was from Hadramaut. As far as we know, he was from South Yemen. Oh, from Yemen. Okay. So if Ibn Khaldun himself is an Arab and he's saying the Arab people are savages, the Arab people are savages, so why would you not quote Ibn Khaldun when he said similar things about the Arabs, and why would you selectively choose? Is he now racist against his own people? Is he racist against his own people? I'm asking you a question.
Okay, so number one, your challenge to me was find other. So it wasn't incumbent upon me to find where these scholars are talking negatively about Asians, negatively about Arabs, negatively about Europeans, because you can find it all throughout the literature.
No, but you were giving us medicine.
You can find it all throughout the literature. Your direct challenge was Muslim scholars that's speaking negatively and denigrating black. What books have I read? Okay. Yes, there's a few of them. Let me get this one.
Tabari.
There it is. All right, cool. Let me quote this, hold this there.
But how is that Tabari's view? How is that Tabari's view?
I didn't say it was his view, or whether it's not his view. It was to do with Islamic scholars that spoke negatively or denigrated African people.
If I quote a text in my thesis, am I speaking negatively of a certain people of, for example, in his literature?
And said this is something made up and is not part of Islam.
Right.
He freed himself. He never did that, did he?
As I said initially, that Tabari in his preface clearly stated that I am gathering information in my works, authentic and inauthentic. Okay? And it is well known to Muslim scholars as to what is authentic, what is acceptable for us, and what is not.
Okay, so
okay,
did he at any point... Wait.
Whether Judeo-Christian literature is actually an authority for us. It is not. It is not. Don't reject it, leave it as it is. Okay?
And it says that way. It says that way, sorry.
The Christian literature, the Judeo-Christian literature